Hey y'all, it's Autumn. I am coming to y'all with another Autumn Speaks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, let's get into it. Today is going to be about sobriety. And you hear it's like the Alcoholics Anonymous grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can. And there's one more part that I don't know verbatim. That's important. That's important. And I wanted to get on here. I know y'all heard in the earlier episodes me talking about how I don't drink no more. And for me, that's been really good. That's been a really good thing. It's really helped me. It's helped me to have clearness of mind, and it's helped me to see a lot of things that I needed to work on and a lot of things that I did in the past where it wasn't the best decisions to make. But because I was lit, because I was drinking, because I was smoking and doing different things, vision got hazy and I lost the plot. So we are going to talk about that. I wanted to, just share my experience with it. Everybody has their own decisions to make in life and their own plan and own goals, dreams, whatever you want to say or call it. But at the end of the day, I do believe that there is a certain grace you are given when you move through life sober. And hear me clear. People say, "Oh, I don't want a raw dog life." I don't want a raw dog life. Life is too stressful to raw dog life. But understand that some of these very things that we try to use to not raw dog life are the very things that are helping us to miss the plot, to miss out on what God got us, to miss out on just clarity and peace. I feel like in previous times I used to operate in a lot of chaos and a lot of just having a lot of people around me that just brought chaos and just did whatever. And it was because I was in that mode. I was inviting substances in my body that aren't, conducive to my health. And in turn, that chaos protrudes outward. And so, I had to get real on that. I had to get real on it mentally. I had to get real on it financially because let's be for real, habits add up. Habits are not cheap. Habits will run your pockets dry, run your account down to the ground, to the graveyard. So, just getting real on that too, getting real on where I want to be, getting real on my health. Because when I think about it, yeah, a lot of us, we may be young, we may do all of this stuff now, but we're not thinking about down the line when we are 40, 50, 60, 70, what is life going to look like for us? Just because things in your health is not being attacked in the moment, when we don't exercise, when we don't eat right, when we do put random substances and things in our body that shouldn't be, down the line, we're going to pay for that in some aspect. And so I had to get real on what suffering, what things that are harming me that can be eliminated. Because let's be for real, life, there is going to be some sort of suffering in life. However, I had to get real on what suffering that I was allowing and within myself, what things that I was doing to cause myself to suffer, what snowball effect these things, these substances, these things that I'm doing are causing in my life. What chaos is it bringing? And one thing people don't really talk about is when you do substances, whatever that may be, I don't care if it's weed, I don't care if it's alcohol, I don't care if it's worse. Whatever substance you do, it brings spirits. And I don't care if the people that know, that know, they know. And the people that ain't gonna get it, ask for revelation. But you have to understand that whatever you put in your body, it brings spirits. And so if you're putting things in your body and you know that, hey, when I do this, I'm not on my square. I remember talking to somebody and they were like, I don't smoke, I don't drink because I want to stay on my square. And at that time, I didn't understand him. I'm going to be for real. I was younger then at the time I was told this. So it was like, I didn't get him. I was in that phase of like, oh, it's lit. I want to be lit, like I want to be lit, feel nice. Like, but he was ahead of it. Like, he was like, no, I want to be on my square. And that's where I'm at. Like, I want to be on my square. I want to be, there's a scripture that says, be sober, be vigilant. You cannot be, some people, hey, like you feel like you've been doing it so long, like you can, but it's like, there comes a point where you're going to realize, like for me, I was using it at points to numb myself, to numb pain. And I realized the minute I stopped, everything that I was numbing, it came back. And it came back 100 times. And so some people will say, that's why I ain't gonna stop. But you can't run away from yourself. And I think sometimes that's what we try to do. I know me as an overthinker, I've tried to run away from myself, run away from my thoughts, run away from things that I didn't want to face, run away from pain. But what you running from will continue to chase you until you face it. So I don't know. I hope I don't sound too preachy, but I'm very passionate about this because I see what it's helped me to achieve. I see what it's helped me to get clear on. And I see how it's helped me in my own personal development of just letting certain things go. When you invite certain substances, sometimes you get after effects from that. Like I feel like alcohol is one of the things that definitely gave me some after effects in my brain where it's like once I started drinking, I didn't have it wasn't the same me. It wasn't the same me as before I started drinking. So it's like you gotta be able to pay attention and have that self-awareness. And just understanding when something is taking you too far off the rails, off the plot, off of where you're supposed to be. And I probably will get some unsubscribers after this episode, but that's okay. Because sometimes we have people around us that they do the stuff too, so they're just going to enable it. But sometimes you need a person who's not going to tell you, yes, continue to do that chaotic thing. And, I've had people be like, hey, like, do you feel like you need to do that? Hey, do you feel like that's the best choice? And it's like sometimes in the moment you're like, dang, but really it's a reflection point to be like, hey, no, I don't need to be doing this. This is not my best self. I'm not my best self. I'm not making the best judgments. I'm running away from things. And that's really the biggest thing you want to remember. And to get real serious about it, there have been people who I know personally, they took substances, something as simple or it's quote unquote as simple as weed, and they haven't been the same since then. So it's like you have to really be careful, and you have to really be careful of what you put in your body, and you have to think of the long term, because sometimes, and I can say for myself, like I think about it like if I had never put certain things in my body, I probably would have much more sharper mental now. So these are things to think about. Everything is not about the moment. Some people only think about the moment and only think about how they are in the moment and how their age is now and how they're feeling now. You have to remember that you're going to grow old. And when you grow old, you got to think about how you're going to feel when you grow old with what you're doing right now. So that's just one of the things that's been on my mind heavy, and what you numb will continue to resurface until you face it. And that's what I had to learn. So I hope y'all got something out of this episode. If you are somebody who you feel like, dang, I've been struggling, like I'll go a day, I'll go 2 days without this bad habit, and then I'll go back. Pray about it, and keep trying to challenge yourself to do a challenge. Like, hey, I'm going to do 3 days. I'm going to go 3 days, then I'm going to go 5 days, then I'm going to go 10 days, then I'm going to go. And then after you do that, you'll start to really just understand it's going to be a snowball effect in a good way, So, yeah, it's worth a try. It's really worth a try for clearer mental. It's worth a try for better decisions. It's worth a try for better health. And also I'm a herb girl down, okay? I'm a herb girl down. So there are literally natural herbs that God made from the earth that are not going to cause you to lose your cognitive, that you can get a nice little vibe and buzz from, and then it don't have to be substances or weed or none of that. Like, there's so many different herbs like that, and you just gotta research, you just gotta look. But just understanding that everything is you want to improve, and everything is to better your health and not worsen it. So just analyzing those things, analyzing when things are becoming a hindrance instead of a help, analyzing whether things are becoming the reason why you can't move in life or whatever it is, the reason why you can't save, the reason why you can't move on, just looking at the root of things, looking at the root, looking at the reasons, and understanding when we got to cut something out, gouge or out, like that last episode said, So, yeah, sobriety is definitely life-changing for sure. It will definitely keep you on your toes, and it'll definitely keep you in reflection. So, yeah, no judgment, because I done been there. but we got to grow from where we done been, okay?